Hello students, I welcome you all to the e-learning platform of STBA. I hope you all are fine and using your time judiciously. Today we will take up a chapter from your book First Flight, first chapter, that is A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. Students, we will discuss difficult words, main characters, theme, message, and also line by line explanation of this story, A Letter to God. Let me first tell you something about the author. Students, G.L. Fuentes was born in the year 1895. He was a Mexican novelist, poet, and journalist. As a teenager, he worked at the store of his father and also on cargo ships. He started writing at a very early age of 15 when the Mexican Revolution began. Many of his books are related to civil conflict. He was one of the most important chroniclers of the Mexican Revolution and its effects. Some of his notable books are La Siringa de Cristal, Claros de Silva, Tierra, El Indio, to name a few. He was awarded the National Prize of Arts and Science in the year 1935. A Letter to God is a story of a poor farmer Lancho who used to live in a rural area of Mexico. Lancho's house was situated on the top of a low hill. He was hoping a good rain for his good crop. It rained, but this rain was accompanied by hailstorm, which destroyed the whole crop. Lancho was left with nothing except sadness and despair. It was now the question of his survivability. Not only his own survivability, but the survivability of his whole family. So, he decided to write a letter to God demanding 100 pesos. Students, peso is a unit of money in Latin American countries like Mexico. A kind-hearted postman and some other employees of the post office saw the letter of Lancho. In order not to shake Lancho's faith and belief in God, they decided to help him. Now, how they are going to help him, we will read and find out in the chapter. Now, I will explain the theme of this story. The story revolves around the infinite faith in God of a very simple-hearted poor farmer, Lancho. It is said that faith can move mountains. Does fate favor such unflinching faith? We will read and find out. Students, this story gives us a very strong message. It tells us to have faith in God and never lose hope in difficult or adverse conditions. Another important message we get at the end of this chapter is that sometimes even our good work of kindness, that is generosity, is not given due credit. Instead, we are called bunch of crooks. So when we are doing any act of kindness, we should not expect anything for this act of kindness. Students, now I will discuss with you about some important characters in the story A Letter to God. Lancho is the most important character in this story. He is a poor farmer. He is a firm believer of God. He is simple but very hardworking. He is humble, caring, and responsible. He writes a letter to God for money. Second most important character is the postmaster. The postmaster is the head of a post office. He is a fat, friendly, and kind fellow. He acts like a messenger of God. He and other officials in the post office give a part of their salary in the charity for Lancho. Third important characters are post office employees. They help Lancho on postmaster's request, laughs on Lancho's letter to God. Students, now I will explain the story line by line. Please watch and listen carefully. In this first paragraph, we will get a description of Lancho's house. The house, the only one in the entire valley, set on the crest of a low hill. Crest means top and entire means whole. So, Lancho's house was the only house in the whole valley. His house was located at the top of a low hill where he lived with his family. I hope it is clear, students. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. Students, one could easily see the river and the field of corn from the house of Lancho. His field was full of ripe corn promising a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lancho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Students, downpour means heavy rain, shower means drizzle, and intimately means closely. Now look at the meaning of these lines. The only thing required for the corn was some rain. So Lancho, who knew his fields very closely, looked at the sky waiting for good rain. He knew this rain would help him to get a very good quantity of corn. Students, now I will read the next paragraph and explain. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman was preparing supper, replied, Yes, God willing. Students, the farmer Lancho was very confident and he told a woman, probably his wife, that they were going to get some water very soon. The woman who was preparing dinner for the whole family replied that they would get water by the grace of God. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all, Come for dinner. Older boys were working in the field and smaller boys were playing near the house. They all were called for dinner. Students, now let us have a quick revision of what we have done today. Students, a letter to God is a story of a poor farmer Lancho. This farmer was expecting a good rain for his crop. It rained, but this rain was accompanied by severe hailstorms which destroyed his field completely. The farmer was left with nothing. The innocent farmer decided to write a letter to God in order to ask for money, which would help him and his family to survive for 1 year. He had firm faith on God, student, so he was certain that he would receive money. He received money, but only 70 pesos. Students, he wrote again to God asking for the remaining amount of money, and at the same time he accused the postal department for stealing his money which was given by God. Ironically, the post office officials were the people who arranged money for him. Sadly, the kindness and generosity of post office officials remained unknown and unappreciated by Lancho. Students, I hope you have understood the summary, theme, message, important characters and explanation of few lines from the story A Letter to God. That's all in today's video. Next time I will come with the explanation of some more lines from the chapter A Letter to God. Until then, goodbye, take care, stay home, stay safe.